guys, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in here tonight. You notice you may hear a voice or two in the background for a couple minutes. Hey guys. Hey, you just joined. Look at that. Hey Ed, how are you doing? Hey Sue. Hey Michael.
That way.
Michael's got a beard.
Man, did you see that beard?
Way to go, Michael. Damn. Oh yeah, great shit.
Mark.
What's up, Wayne?
Hey.
Eric from Cali. That's distracting. Could you stop that? Thank you.
California. Okay.
This door ready. It's all good. They're in witness protection, so they can't appear. Frost House? Frost House? Portland, Oregon. Works for me. What do we got? The other one from Clovis. Hey, Ed.
Clovis, California.
Hey guys, how you doing tonight? All right, we got everyone out of the store that doesn't need to be in here. It's been a fun day to say the least.
Yeah.
Not really. This has been a Monday. Hope all you guys had a what's up, Jason? Hope all you guys have had a better Monday than we have. Yes. Spent the weekend designing T-shirts.
Hi, David.
So we put them up on Teespring. We're gonna try these guys out. If I say okay, so we put them up on Teespring. I've never used Teespring before for T-shirts. Ross from Santa Cruz. So we're gonna give these guys a go. See if if this works out. We've tried. I've sold T-shirts, believe it or not, on other things. I had a few Star Wars T-shirts that apparently I got copyrighted on. So who knew you couldn't design a cool T-shirt that had Pac-Man and Star Wars integrated together, or Boba Fett for president?
There you go.
Apparently that got flagged. Lucas was like, no. So, anyways, yeah.
That was fun.
Today? No, today sucked. Today's been a sucky day.
What?
We did finish the car that we showed earlier, and the question was asked, how does that amp sound? We'd never done one. It actually sounded really, really good. I was impressed.
Yeah, Tony. Say hi to Tony.
Hi, Tony. Andrew. What's up, Andrew? Aren't you supposed to be working? You work like all the time. You work like us. We're like dogs.
Yeah, Andrew. Okay.
But, yeah, so, no, that turned out really well.
Yeah.
He had all Infinity stuff in there. That was a strange story. He, of course, saw one of our videos, a Rescue 911 video, and he didn't like his install that he had paid for. They had actually done a pretty decent job. But there again, what really set it apart was they Velcroed the amps underneath the seat. The fuse holder wasn't mounted. The wiring behind the radio was atrocious. And, they mounted the crossovers in the glove box. Other than that, they used all great wire. The things were zip tied down. It's just weird. It just goes to show that little things do matter. Those are the things that we excel at, are the little things. We're very particular. And yeah, the little things are what count. So,
yeah. Sounds
perfect.
Definitely.
Thanks, Andrew. And yeah, so we put the T-shirts up on Teespring. If you do a search for, which we'll put a link to on the YouTube channel, because it's really hard to do links. We do have a link on the Facebook page right now. Hello from Hampton, Ohio. It is do teespring.com / 5 FIVE STAR TEE, I believe.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I was going to hand drop a sign and hold it up and where the dancing girls.
Yeah, TEE Spring.
Well, no, the link to it. Really?
Yeah.
Who's calling you?
That was Rody.
Really?
Rody's calling. Yeah.
Jesus. That's funny. But anyways, yeah. So we have the T-shirt up. If you guys are interested in picking one up, I went with the medium grade. We don't get to set pricing or anything like that. It's not cool like that. So, yeah,
Yeah.
Just double checking. Yes, it is 5-star FIVESTARTEE.
Yeah.
And that'll take you, or you can just do a search for 5-star car stereo T. And this is the T-shirt. If you've missed it,
that's pretty cool.
Hope you guys like it. Well, you know, if this does well, of course we'll design other ones. So yeah, there you go. Enough of that. Let's get on to the show. Thank you guys for checking in as always.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. We got questions already. What do we got?
We got a question from Ashley. Ashley?
Sure.
Yes.
What's up, Dan?
Hey guys.
Tim. Dan.
Very excited.
What's up, Tim? Tim the Tool. Dan. Yeah,
Okay. All right. So very excited. Tech question. 2016 Audi A3.
Yeah.
400 by 4 amp.
Yeah.
And 1600 by 1.
Yeah.
1 and a 4 gauge for the mids and a 0 for the subs. Looking to do a big 3, maybe 4. I'm sorry. And I want to fuse from the battery.
Okay.
So that's the question.
What can you?
So he wanted to fuse from the battery? I don't understand.
I mean, so like if you saw the Genesis, was it? No, I'm sorry, the Velocitor.
Yes.
The Velocitor. We fused between the alternator and the battery, and of course the battery and the rear battery, and then the rear battery and the front battery. So there's 3 big fuse holders in that car. And it's just answer it. See what Rudy wants. So what size?
What size fuse do I need?
Good question. The fuses there only protect the wire. So, you know, like a 150 amp fuse should be fine. I wouldn't go smaller than that. That's between like the alternator and the battery. Between the front battery and the amplifiers, that has to be the same. So if like you have a fuse an amp that has, let's say 440 amp fuses, that's 160 amp, you're going to want a 200 amp fuse under the hood. But there again, the fuse under the hood is just there to protect the wire. It's not going to blow. The amplifier could never blow the fuse under the hood unless the amplifier just shorted out. But as far as big 3, big 4 go, it all just comes down to grounding points. So you can add as many grounding points as you want. It's not going to, like, in that car, I think we had 3 or 4 grounding points on the engine block. So... what's up, ATL? Jason, so good question. We'll get back to the questions we missed when Fernando gets back. It depends. It's a 50-50 chance. Like today in the PT Cruiser, we ran all new wires. It was just easier to do that. Some cars, if they have the Molex between, you know, there's a Molex and you have to drill, or there's no way for us to get through there, we just maintain the factory wiring. If we're doing high-end components like the Focals or the Audison Hertz, we try to run new wiring. It's a better speaker. It deserves a better install. That, of course, increases the price of the install, and we give the customer that option. Most new cars have adequate, actually most of the old cars too, have an adequate size wire ran into the door for 75 to, let's say, 110 watts. So, yeah, it's up to you. You're not hurting anything by running new wire, and yeah. So, if you can do it, do it. Why not? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It reduces the amount of contact points you have too. So,
all right.
But yeah, okay,
yeah.
go ahead.
Frost, Morel Elite or Focal KX2?
That's so wrong. Okay, so fair disclosure, I run all Morel stuff in my house. So I really like the way Morel sounds, but I have love installing Focal. I haven't heard any of the new Morel stuff. The Kenwood rep Bill that is was in a couple videos and always is on here. He's a Morel rep. He just finished his car, and he has the audio control 810D, the processor in it. So once he gets that all dialed in, we're going to take a listen to it and hear how they sound. I've never heard the current Morel lineup, so I really can't answer that. So I'm going to just go with Focal.
There you go. All right. So, Michael, what are those rock for that you say they are very loud, mids and highs? Do you guys stock them?
Yeah, they're punch. The Punch series is the most popular,
the
loud.
Power.
But the Power is the loudest.
Yeah.
But if don't take the if you want to go ghetto, as they say, they do. Rockford also makes loudspeakers.
Loudspeakers.
They just don't fit anything unless you're going to do that full custom loudspeaker install. But if you just want a loud rock and roll fittable speaker, the Punch or the Power. The Power obviously records more power. The Punch is what we do a ton of because they're loud. They are affordable, and they don't need a gazillion watts of power. So we do a ton of those.
Okay, so Thomas, you carry everything, but why not American base? Seems like you mentioned Scar is interesting.
Paul's brother owns American Base, so the guy that owns this, Paul, his brother owns American Base. That is why we don't carry a ton of American Base. It's more of a family issue.
But we carry.
We do carry their loudspeakers. We don't carry their amps. We don't carry their subs. Scar is local. Family isn't always fun. Let's just go there.
Yeah, Clyde. I'm near in Cincinnati. Do you know any truss installer in the area?
In Cincinnati, Ohio. You'd want to contact Dave Koz. I believe if you do a search on Facebook or Instagram, I believe he goes under the name Koz, K-O-Z Creations. He's the guy you want to contact. I've done some training with him in the past. I've had a couple meals with him. He's a really nice guy. He's friends with Paul because Paul's from Ohio. But yeah, check him out. He might be obviously not in that neck of the woods, but he is in Ohio. Big state, I get it, but hey.
Okay, so Ozzy, so I have the amps fuse 100 and 150, but will I go from 150A from the battery to the alternator?
Well, okay, so if your alternator is only like an 80 amp alternator, there's really 100 is that what we're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100 is fine. You just want to be within there again, the fuse is to protect the wire. You don't want it too big that it's not going to blow if there's ever a problem, but you also don't want it too small to increase the resistance.
So 150, 100.
Either one of them will do the trick. I mean, if you're running 0 gauge, I mean, I would put 150. I mean, you know, if you short that shit out, you're going to blow that fuse in a heartbeat. So you got nothing to worry about.
Okay, so thank you. Was the Soundstream Tarantula amp that you guys had on the video early? 900.4?
5. It was a 5 channel.
Oh, that was a 5 channel.
It was the 5 channel.
Do you guys got some? Yep. Do you guys carry those?
No. We don't do Soundstream products. Like I said, that was that guy's. I believe he got it all from Sonic Electronics. It wasn't bad. I mean, but we carry a ton of 5 channels, so I have.
And yes, they power the whole system.
Powered the whole system. So he had
this. Figures.
So what he had is he had the Infinity separate system, the Infinity Kappa separate system up front, tweeter, mid, the door, and dash. He had the Infinity Kappa 5 1/4, 6 1/2, 6 1/2 in the rear door, 5x7s in the rear. So it was front, rear were parallel, and then he had an Infinity 10 and a small sealed enclosure in the very back. And of course, he wanted to run everything at 0 dB instead of the negative dB, so it was obscenely loud, which I guess made him happy.
Yeah.
So, rock on.
Okay, Sean, I really dig what you did in the Velociter. I'm actually doing right now a 4200 NEX, ARC audio, 6.2 components, front and rear. I'm sorry, and a single DD12. Wow, deciding to go on the Phoenix Gold 800.4 and the 1200.1. Do you think I need more than one battery?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we put that small battery in the back for him. That seemed to help quite a bit. The more power you have, the simple rule, the more power you have, the better it's going to sound. If you can afford a battery and you have a place to put it in a battery. You don't have to go crazy. Stinger makes several different sizes, as well as Excess Power makes several different sizes. You don't need anything huge. It just helps. I mean, you spent all this money buying great quality product. You're putting a lot of time and effort into putting it in. What's a couple extra $100 to just finish it off and do it right? So add the battery.
There you
go. know, I am an advocate of adding a second battery. Most people don't, because they'll always like $200.
So, Ashley, so if I have 100 amp fuse for the mids and 150 for the sub, will be safe to use 150 amp fuse from the alternator to the battery. Yes.
Yeah, you got that?
Yeah.
That's a yes?
Yeah, 100 or 150. Yeah.
Okay, so you got yes on that. Fernando says yes.
David, subs in the trunk facing back or seat to the trunk?
I always face them back. I like the way they sound facing back, especially in a porta box. It reduces the length of the bass note, so by the time it gets to your head, it sounds boomier, and I like boomier. So I'm going to go with facing back. There's been a handful of cases where I've had customers that like the way it sounds fired forward. The nice thing about a subwoofer, it's easy to flip it. There's no right or wrong way. You know, that's the answer to that. Subwoofer is non-directional. Flip it over, fire it forward for a couple days, play a bunch of songs, flip it back, play the same couple songs, see what sounds better. It's not going to hurt anything.
Preference. Frost, do you guys use the Addison B-Tune?
No.
No.
No. It hasn't been a successful product for us, so we just kind of shy away from it. There's nothing wrong with it. We're just, you know, I know there's dealers out there that sell hundreds of them and just love it to pieces. We're not one of them.
Saludos, René. ¿Cómo has estado, carnal? Gabe, how to stop trunk rattle?
Road.
Sound ending already, but still rattle a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you could sound dead in the crap out of it, but at the end of the day, if you have a bomb exploding in your trunk constantly, the pressure's got to go somewhere. If you can somehow create a hole between the front of the car and the back of the car, either through the rear deck, through an armrest, any way to alleviate the amount of pressure that's being trapped in the trunk and funnel it into the car, that will reduce the amount of rattle you get and also increase the amount of bass you get into the car. So sometimes simply by moving the seat forward an inch, if it reduces the rattle substantially. Yeah. The other thing too is it depends on the rattle you have. A lot of cars, like, we'll notice the exhaust shields vibrate, stuff like that. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
So, okay.
All right. So, Mark, I see the Kicker Marine 6.5 behind you.
Yep.
Do you have any installation videos on that? On the boat, on the ATV?
On the boat, yes. We actually did a video on how to cut a hole in a boat, which featured those speakers. And yeah, there was 2 videos in that. In the I believe it's from the install bay and possibly in the Kicker playlist, where we show you what the method we use for cutting, or the method I use for cutting a hole in a boat. And also in the Stinger iSimple playlist, we used the Stinger Marine amplifier to power a set of them, and also hook up the lights to them. So those 2 videos there will kind of give you an idea of boat.
All right, Tony, what's the worst thing you have found in the car where you're doing install?
I don't know if it was the worst thing. It was probably one of the funnier things. We had a fruit bat in a car. It was on a backpack. I had taken the backpack out of the front of the back seat, put it in the front seat, right in front of the front seat, and I was reaching underneath the dash, and I felt something fuzzy on my arm, and it just didn't feel right. So I looked down, and there was this little tiny fruit bat chilling there, and looking all pissed off. And of course, I asked Fernando to go ask the customer if he had a pet bat, and of course, the guy's like,
I jumped first.
Lost in oh yeah, Fernando jumped 10 feet out of the car.
I'm like,
it was the funniest. That was hilarious. But then of course I go ask the guy if he has a pet bat, because I just didn't want to get rid of the bat if it was a pet. So of course this guy's thinking, because Fernando's going bat, and he's thinking it was a baseball bat. And yeah, so at the end of the day, we put the bat in a nice palm tree out back, up high, so no one would screw with it. It screeched like a mad fiend. It was so pissed. But yes, that was probably one of the more funny things that we've had. Me personally, we had a customer, a lady that kept blowing her cigarette lighter fuse after we put her radio in. So naturally, we kind of tried it, and she had a cigarette lighter personal pleasuring device that she kept underneath her seat. And apparently, she was really pleasuring herself, so she kept blowing the cigarette lighter fuse.
All right, so yeah. Michael Hall. My backup camera on my Kenwood 9903S always flashing. Stop. How do I fix this?
Is it flashing or is it just like crappy? Okay, is it look good when the engine's off and look bad when the engine's on? That's important. A lot of these cheaper cameras, it could actually some of the expensive ones too. They get engine noise, and if it's that, there is a pack noise filter that you can get, which we have a video called "Does Your Camera Look Crappy?" I think, and there again, it's in the Pack iSimple playlist. Where we actually add that noise filter. If that's what you're having, then that's what you'd want to do is add a power line noise filter to it. That'll take away all those crappy fuzzy lines that appear on the screen. Otherwise, I don't know.
All right, so Michael Robert, can I bring my truck in and have you guys take measurements and dimensions for my custom box? I remember you say yes, we work with a custom closure manufacturer.
Yes.
So just bring it on.
Yeah, well, we use a company called Bright Star. They're here in Florida. They ship all around the world. They're just, luckily for us, they happen to be close by. They like breathing sawdust. They don't apparently have a problem with it anymore. I do. But yeah, we can get them to build anything you want.
Okay, another Michael Castañeda. I got a 15 Explorer. Yeah, and an iPad. And I pay $250 for the Metra Dash, and I put the 5200 NEX, while a Diamond Audio lead speakers and a 12 Kicker L7, and I gotta say it's the best investment and sounds amazing. There you go.
Yeah, dude, we just did a set of L7 12s and an F series, a brand new 2017 F Infinity. Off of the audio control.
Yes.
What is it? The 1200? Yeah, I think it's the new audio control 1200 with the Epicenter built into it, because we obviously had to keep the factory radio. Oh my God, that Epicenter! I mean, Epicenters are from the 80s and 90s, and I never really I didn't play with them a lot, but this guy was specific. I want boomy bass. I want it crazy. And a lot of times with these factory radios, you're just not going to get boomy bass. And we know the L7s, like he said, are just, they have boomy bass. Whether you like kicker or not, L7s are an exceptional speaker. I don't care what you say. And we knew we could get great sound. We just needed power, and we needed some way to fix the factory shitty 8 that it was hooked up to. So we put in the Epicenter amp. Ooh. Yeah. Never seen a guy who was like, the more he turned the knob, the more he just smiles. Yeah. So that was cool. Good. All right.
Do you guys like Crutchfield?
Do I like Crutchfield? No, they're a competitor. I got nothing against Crutchfield. I mean, back in the day, that was how you did car audio. Is you just sit. It was like porn. It was like getting the Victoria's Secrets catalog for car stereo back in the '80s. You just sit there and turn the pages and be like, ooh, oh, yeah. But
that was exciting like that.
Yeah, that wasn't. It was. That's what you did. I mean, it wasn't a lot to go on. Now there's an internet for everything. So
you don't have to go nowhere.
Customer was in today telling him how great the tech support he got on Crutchfield was, and it's like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, hey, whatever.
So, Gabe, do you guys have any video on how to find distortion using the HU?
Head unit?
Head unit, yeah, okay. With a separate EQ?
No. No.
We don't have that? Maybe
no. I mean, what do you mean by distortion? You mean like clipping, or do you mean like
what
it just
kind of
sounds
radio?
Crappy? Okay, audio control, depending on the phone, I think they make for both Android and Apple now. They make a RTA for your phone, real-time analyzer. It's a free app that you can download, and it has an RTA built into it. They also make a microphone that you can plug in, but you can also just use the microphone that comes with your phone. And it's this guy right here. I'll try that. Okay. So you can use this play a pink noise, which you can also download from the internet from their site. I believe some of their sites have pink noise. And you can use that pink noise to adjust your EQ to get a nice smooth curve. Like if you notice this huge problem right here, you'd want to EQ that to make it more smooth. You don't have to make it a straight line. You just don't want it to make it this, where it's karachi chop. You want a nice smooth transition. This is a really helpful app. We, of course, have their microphone and a couple other RTAs, but for free, this is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so Ed, thanks for making the video on the LCI2 with the Acubus. He's putting on.
Cool. Yeah, yeah. That was a much needed video.
Right, Ryan. Will there ever make a radio with the Blu-ray?
I think Blu-ray is pretty much dead at this point. I don't know about you, but okay, so I bought the Star Wars movie that just came out on Blu-ray, but I'll never watch it. I just bought it because I'm a Star Wars nerd. I felt the need to have crap laying around my house. Other than that, I haven't bought a movie on Blu-ray.
But the radios, they don't make Blu-ray.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think they're going to make it.
I want to be able to watch it on this, my iPad, my Apple TV, whatever. My daughter wants, so Blu-ray just seems like dead technology at this point.
Okay, so Anthony, how can I wire up my sound down SAS15D4?
What ohm load do you want?
We do have, okay, 4 ohm.
If you go to From the Install Bay, the video playlist on YouTube, we have a whole video on how to wire up subwoofers in single voice coil, dual voice coil, parallel, the whole, we go through it all. We have diagrams, we have pictures. Check that out and see if that helps you. And it's in the From the Install Bay. So we walk through everything that you need to know. And what ohm load to get and all that stuff. Whether it's dual 2, dual 4, we cover it all.
Okay, so Jonathan, any solution for the 2012 Chrysler 300 Limited? The radio controls, privacy, AC, heating cooling system, and with the CarPlay system, without losing all those.
So there's 2 options right now. It all depends on whether or not you have the 8-inch screen. If you have the 8-inch screen, you're pretty much stuck. Which is okay, because if you have the premium sound system in it, you can go with an Amp Pro and get 6-channel preamp output. Well, is it 12? Is it a 12?
CarPlay.
Oh, it's a CarPlay.
Yeah.
It's going to be Metra, man. Metra's going to be it. Metra. If it's available, it's going to be from Metra.
Yeah,
it is.
It's available,
yeah. But you're going to have to use Metra. MetraOnline.com.
Yeah. Okay, so will adding tweeters to the stock radio make it sound better?
Yes. Most factory speakers don't have tweeters, so by either adding a tweeter or going with a coaxial that has a tweeter built into it, will definitely increase the high frequency response of the factory deck. It's still never going to be perfect, but it will definitely sound better.
This is a very important question.
Okay.
Okay, this is for Susan. Where you want to put bass on my car?
She's got bass in the spare tire. It's a Bose system. Rock on. Boom.
Okay.
Look, she's got room for it, man. Give me a break.
What years did they make the new model of the ABH 490BS?
What was it?
What year did they make the new model of the ABH X 490BS?
Oh, the 490BS is this year's.
So, okay.
That's the 490BS is this year's model. It is a replacement for the 4800. And then the upgrade from that is the 491. We do have tons of videos on those, and I know the 490 video went up last week. It's the same radio as the 4800. They're the exact same radios. But it is a 2017 modeled radio.
Okay, so, whoa, this is so loud. Let's see. Hey guys, 2 questions. Do you think there will be more speaker companies following the steps of Alpine has done the GMC Direct fit speakers?
So, yes. However, in the United States, it may take a while. If you go and look at like the Japanese or European websites for both Pioneer and Kenwood, you'll see that they do make restyle style radios for a lot of the European cars, Volkswagen and Audi. Those already exist over there. Why they don't bring them over here is beyond me. I don't know, other than maybe they have a DAB tuner in them, or they just don't think they're going to do so well. Yeah, I wish they would hurry up. Supposedly, Pioneer's looking at it, and they're going to be doing it. That was the rumor back around CES, is that Pioneer announced that they're going to start feeling the that business model out. I wish they would, because somebody needs to go up against Alpine because they're slow.
Okay, so this is a tricky question. How does wiring work between the 4 doors woofers and the tweeters? How that works?
What now?
How that works?
What?
Woofers and the tweeters. He have 4-door woofers.
4-door subwoofers.
Yes, and 2 tweeters.
And 2 tweeters.
Yes, and the subs and the amp. I mean, he got everything.
Okay.
How everything works? I'm assuming he got like a car with amplifier system.
That's a really broad question. I think I need more information. I mean, that's just like a generic, how does the stereo
Chevy.
work? So you have a Chevy.
No. His name is Chevy.
Oh, his name was Chevy.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
So just give
What
us
kind
more
of car do you
information.
have?
Yeah.
Give us. Yeah. Let's fine tune that question a little bit, and we'll answer it.
Okay.
No problem there.
I also this is another question, Michael. I also have a 14.
Hi, Bill.
2014 Focus, and I have a monoblock and a 4-channel. Currently, I hooked up with the high and low converters.
Okay.
What will be better? Amps without using the highs or low converters?
Well, I mean, if you're keeping the factory stereo, you always are going to need some form of integration between the factory stereo and the aftermarket amplifier. The question is, what do you need to do that? If it's just a factory stereo that has 4 outputs coming from the radio, meaning you have 1, 2, 3, 4, front, rear, left, right, a standard high-level to low-level adapter will accomplish the simple task of getting you from an amplified signal to an RCA. And those would be like a pack audio LP7 4 or 7.4 or whatever. Those will do the trick. If you actually want it to sound good or better, you want to look at something like an audio control, like an LCQ1 that has some form of EQ built into it, or if you want to go crazy, or if you're looking for bass restoration, the LC7i. So those, yes, to get from here to here, like we have a great display that shows the back of a radio and the back of an aftermarket radio, and we need a box to get from there to there. So it's all about the box and getting from there. So regardless of what an amp has, the only amp that is worthy of the high level input is the audio control amplifier, because it has the LC7i built into it. The other thing too is, does it go from the factory radio to a factory amplifier, and then from that factory amplifier, is that factory amplifier still just 4-channel output, or is it 6-channel output plus sub? If it is, then you're going to have to do summing, where you take the front tweeter and the front mid-range, combine them, and then have the single RCA go out to the amplifier with that combined signal. That's where the LC7i is going to come into play, or possibly an LC8i, depending on how many channels you have to sum.
Alright, so...
Summing is fun. We do have tons of videos on LC7is. We have 3 different videos on how to put those in. Audio control playlist, me too.
How is the new Kenwood DMX 7704S? That one, I just haven't played with it.
It's fun. I really like it. I've decided that that's the radio I want to put in my car. So we put one in the other day in a Toyota, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited. We're kind of debating on whether we want to wait till the camera comes in the beginning of sometime next month to shoot the whole video on it, so that we can just do like the dream system, or if we're just going to talk about it. But yeah, it's really cool. I like
Where
it.
will you think will be the best place to put 2 amps on a Chevy extended cab truck?
It depends on how big the amps are, man. A lot of people like to pull the back seat out and put the amps behind the seat. I know that you can do, like if you cut it, like the little metal pieces that stick up like this, supposedly if you cut an inch of them off, you can do this thing where you fold up the seat and it lifts above that, and then you can fold down the seat. It's called the 1-inch amp cut thing. Or typically we go with small amps in those vehicles so that we can make an ABS panel and mount them at the base of the seat where the 2 seats meet like this. There's enough room there to mount some smaller amplifiers.
Alright, so Richard, can I install just a car alarm with a module like 14 to make it easy?
Yeah. I mean, you know, all depending on the year of the car. Some smart harness, some smart alarms, it's just a matter of hooking up 3 or 4 wires. If you do remote start, sometimes it's up to 10 wires. Sometimes it's just plug and play if they make a T-harness and maybe 1 or 2 extra wires. Yeah, there's no cheat. I mean, whatever they make, if they make something easy, of course you want to do that. There's no reason not to. Where the headache comes in is flashing the module to the car. That's always going to be the choke point. Putting it in and wiring it, piece of cake. Having it communicate with the car may take 1 or 2 times.
Alright, so Thomas, has your audio control rep say anything about the Bluetooth port on the DM810 and the DM608 processors, giving the ability to adjust
Yes.
with the app on the phone or an iPad, or adjust without need a laptop?
Yeah, I know what those are. Actually, yeah, Bill and I just talked about that last week when he was up here. I asked him that same question. Apparently they're going to have 2 different Bluetooth modules, depending on what you want. They're going to have Bluetooth audio streaming one, and then the Bluetooth for the iPad. I think, if memory serves, because it wasn't going to be anytime soon, I think we're still at a couple months.
Alright.
So, yeah, kind of bummed, but yeah, it's coming. I'm assuming in the next couple months. I'm thinking sometime 3rd quarter.
Alright, so Steven, my question is, when you set up an EQ, do you set up from the radio or your iPad or phone or both to get more quality sound?
I just use the radio. I don't like to use the EQ on my phone, if that's what you're asking. Like, I know on the iPhone there's a whole EQ section that you can go into and screw with things. No. You know, the problem is you get too many EQs. That just...
Alright, so...
It's hard enough to get 1 EQ to sound good, let alone 2. Oh, my God.
Matt Wood from Australia. Say hi.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
From
Down under.
Australia, man. Okay, so
Boy.
Michael, okay, he responded another question. Anthony, I only have 115. Dual 4, I want the max power.
If you have 115 dual 4, you can get the maximum, the lowest that will go is 2 ohms. So you're going to want an amp that puts out the maximum amount of power at 2 ohms. So
positive,
that's what you want to look at. You're going to just go positive, positive, negative, negative. You're going to have a 2 ohm load. That's all it's ever going to be. So when you're buying an amplifier, you want to look at what the 2 ohm rating is. Kicker amps do 2 ohm. They put out max power at 2 ohm. That's if that
Susan,
helps.
she say I want more.
Don't we all? I don't have any, so wah.
Really? You got Tom here.
Oh yeah, shut up.
Hey guys, I purchased this at 4200 NEX and 2800 BS for my cars. I also have a rear camera for both of the radios, but the video it's grainy
For the cameras?
on the 4200 and very clear on the 2800. I switch it, the cameras, but it still have an issue. Any thoughts?
Yeah, there again, that's going to go back to the original question I asked the guy earlier on whether the camera is grainy when the engine is running or not. If it is, it's the noise issue. You just need a power line noise filter. If it's in that, if the engine is running and it's noisy, that's the power line noise filter will fix that. If not, no idea there. If it's the same daylight, same time, car back to back, and you just switch them and they look crappy, then that's probably going to be something wrong with either the wiring harness from front to back or with the input on the 4200. If it's just grainy when the engine's running, power line noise filter.
Right. Okay, so Chevy, that's the guy.
Yes.
2012 Ford Focus. I'm trying to retain the OEM head unit, so...
Okay. Does he have the Sony system?
He don't say nothing.
Chevy, do you have the factory Sony system or the factory base model system?
No, that's what he said, like
It's the
planning to add the LC7i.
Yeah, LC7i, way to go.
Yeah.
LC7i's, go to the audio control playlist on YouTube. We have 3 different models there that you could check out. We walk you through the whole thing, and then check out the one on the LC2i. That'll show you how to set up the AccuBase. If you watch all 3 of those videos, you'll know more about the LC7i than 90% of the installers out there.
Alright, so is there any app on my phone that will let me allow to measure my car system?
The audio control app is pretty extensive. If you're just, your phone has a minimum amount, like for dB, there's a couple dB apps you can get, but you're limited by the microphone that's built into the phone. I know there's a couple little generic microphones you can buy that you can plug into the phone itself to increase that. But yeah, the audio. There's also a ton of Audio Toolbox, I believe, is another one. But yeah, there's a ton of them out there, and most of them are usually between free and $5. But the audio control is great for free.
All right, so Michael Robert, what are your thoughts on sound down audio?
If you're into SPL, it's a great woofer to go with.
Hi guys from New York.
Hey. No, funny thing. Okay, back to the Sundown real quick. Sundown was the originator of this large surround crazy magnet. They were the guys that came out first. So if I was personally going to get into the SPL game, I would buy Sundown just because they were first. They seem like they have their shit together. That's the reality of it. I mean, we sell Scar, but I'd probably still want Sundown just because I want them. I mean, that's the brand to have, People want Nikes because they're Nikes. People drink Coke instead of Czech because it's Coke, That's how I feel about Sundown.
So you want the opposite.
I want Sundown because Sundown was the guy. They were the originators. So
but they're good. They're really good.
Of course they're good, but I mean, that's my thought on Sundown. So yeah, if you have access to it and that's the kind of bass you're looking for, hell yeah, buy it.
All right. So Michael, thank you guys for doing this. Not too many install guys will take the time to do this, so thank you.
Hey, trust me, and thank you very much. We're glad, and that's why we do it, because we love it. I have a blast doing this. For me, it's really fun. It kind of takes, like today sucked, and I'm answering all these questions for you guys has truly lightened the mood and made me feel better. By the time I get home tonight and go for my run, I'm going to feel even better, and hopefully I'll just pass out, even though I have two videos I have to edit before tomorrow. So I don't think I'll get any sleep, but at least I'll be in a better mood. Yay.
Okay, so I have a 2016 Honda Accord Sport. Will adding a tweeter help me with the sound, or do I need to replace the speaker?
Adding a tweeter will help with the sound for sure. If you have some place to put it, then definitely add a tweeter. Yeah. But the easier way to go might be getting a set of components or just a really nice set of coaxials. A lot of the time, just replacing the speaker that's in the door with a really nice set of coaxials will get you the result you want and keep your installation to a minimum. Apparently, the feed is sucking tonight. I apologize. Yeah, we can see it on this side. It's blinking a little bit. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there's very little we can do for that. We pay for great, decent internet, and they all suck.
Yeah.
So we apologize. Remember, the show is always rebroadcast on YouTube, either later tonight or tomorrow morning it goes up. So if it's just frustrating the shit out of you, and you've already asked your question, and you want to just wait and not be annoyed with it, just check it out tomorrow on YouTube. We DVR the show because we know this happens, and we like to make sure that this information gets out because you guys ask a ton of great questions. So that's why it's a nice high def, clean version of the show.
All right, this is good. Steven, he say, your option, where is the best backup camera? And also, where is the best, or where is the cheapest radio with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, EQ, and GPS? The 8200.
No. With EQ, it's going to be the 5200.
But they don't have Android Auto.
Oh, Android, that's going to be the 7200. 7200, or the 9703. Kenwood's 9703. Yeah. Of course, with Android Auto, could be the Sony. It doesn't have GPS. But no, it's got to have. So no, actually, it's going to be the 7200. The Pioneer 7200. If you need onboard GPS, onboard Android Auto, onboard CarPlay.
Yes.
Nice HDMI input, a nice 13-band EQ with auto EQ setting just by putting the cool microphone in. Video on YouTube. The only thing it doesn't have is network mode because it's an NEX, but it does have the seat positioning, surround sound with delays and all that. So the 7200 is going to be the ticket.
Yeah. For the backup
as far as the backup camera, the one right above his head right there is an Echo Master thin tag cam. Yeah. If you go to the echomaster.com and they have a drop-down menu, choose the type of camera you want, pick tag cam. find the only thin one, and that's it. It does not have backup lines. They're built into the radio, but it is the cleanest, clearest, has great night vision. It has no stupid LEDs because it's a good camera.
Right.
It's expensive as shit, and it looks awesome.
Alright, so Chevy.
It comes in black or chrome.
Chevy, the guy. It's a factory model. No Sony system.
Okay, so yeah, the LC7i is going to be what you want, for sure. Pop the radio out.
Keep cutting out.
Yeah, we know, so we covered that. That's why I said that. Yes, Chevy, definitely go with the LC7i. If you want better sound. Okay, the one problem with all Fords is Fords have a nasty EQ curve built into them that sucks. If you get the LCQ1 from Audio Control, it's a little bit more money. I don't know how much because that's not my part of the world.
Yeah.
That'll give you a EQ for front, rear, and sub. Totally worth the extra money because it'll allow you to fix the factory EQ settings in it. So, like, if we were going to do that, we would definitely push you towards an LCQ1 so we'd have an ability to do some tune. Otherwise, you end up with the same sound you have, the cleanest way to get it, but you're still stuck with whatever curve, EQ curve the factory radio has. So, there you go.
There you go. You say, what's up to Corey?
Hey, Corey. Thanks for fixing the alarm today.
What does your daily schedule? Generally including science, video, work, and it seems like take a lot of time. Yeah.
I get up at 5:15 in the morning and start editing videos till 7 o'clock. In that time, I get my daughter up and get her to school. She drives herself because she's old enough to do that now. At 7 o'clock, I go back to bed for an hour. I've just been doing it for years. It's kind of the only sanity I have. It's the greatest sleep ever. I get up at 8 or 8:30, depending on what's going on. I usually wake up at 8 and then stare at Instagram for a half hour like the rest of us. Or check whatever's going on the feed. I post the video before I go back to bed. So usually between 6:30 and 7, I post the video. And then I get here between 9:30 and 9:45, even though it's supposed to be here at 9:30. Just depends on how the morning's going. Work until 6:30, 6:45. Do some form of physical activity, either running or go to the gym until 7:38. Depending on what day of the week it is, there might be soccer involved in that day. Usually I get to bed about midnight. Try to spend at least an hour, hour and a half with the family before I spend. They usually are in bed by 10:30, so then from 10:30 till whenever I answer emails until they're done. Or I get to a point to where I just can't stare at the phone anymore.
So that means take a lot of time.
Yeah, basically you get 5 hours of sleep a night, plus 6 hours. So yeah.
All right.
And then Sunday I don't touch any questions. So if you guys ask questions on Sunday, they don't get answered until today.
You guys are
And then you
great.
have a kid, so who the hell knows what you do?
Nothing. You guys are great. Thank you for doing this. I learned a lot. Okay, so Michael, I forgot to say hi from Mexico. Okay.
Hey, Cabo Wabo.
There you go.
Let me take you down.
Froze. Oh, good. I just watched it again on YouTube. Yes.
Very good. And on YouTube, we're going to put up a link to those cool t-shirts. So if you're just turning in, t-shirts are available. teespring.com/5, FIVESTARTEE. And you can get your cool 5-star t-shirt. We don't set the prices. They do that for us. I did pick the medium grade. I did pick the colors. They're all dark because we're all goths that do car audio for some reason. I personally like the gray. Those are the ones I bought for myself. And I had to pay the same price even though I designed it. Yay! So,
okay,
and I put a rush on them so we can actually wear them for next week. So, yeah.
All right, so best website to order parts from Crushfield, Sonic, or Quartermove.
You know, as far as parts go, I like to go like we obviously buy factory direct.
Yeah.
The two websites that we spend most of our time on are bestkits.com and metraonline.com. Those are where 90% of the dash kits are. From there, once you've gotten the parts that you need, you can go to whoever you want. Scotch really doesn't carry anything.
The bigger kits.
They make some kits, but from there, just go to whoever's got the best price or the best customer service, or, crazy idea, go to your local guy and say, hey, what kind of deal can you give me on this? More than likely, they'll be willing to work with you, you know, because we want to sell this stuff. I mean, and also we can provide, don't be afraid to pay a little bit extra from somebody like us meaning a retail shop, because, okay, at least us, I'm not going to speak for everybody. You know, when you come to us and buy something over the counter, even though you're buying it over the counter and you're going to take it, chances are good you're going to get way in over your head. We're still going to help you out because you were nice enough to come buy it from us. So if I have to spend 10 minutes out in your car saying, no, it's these 3 wires you need to hook up and not that one, I'll do that because you were nice enough to come spend money from me. If you buy it on the internet and you come in here and you're like, hey, man, and I'm going to be like, why didn't you buy it from us? Well, it was $20 more. Well, that $20 is me going out to your car for 10 minutes and holding your hand and making sure you did it right. You know, you didn't buy it from me. I got customers that are buying from me that I need to work on their cars. So that's all. I mean, but that's, there again, I mean, we try to help as many people as we can through this YouTube, through this Facebook, but sometimes you just have to, sometimes it's worth spending the extra $20 to buy it from a local guy. Now, if he's asking $100 more, yeah, no, he needs to get checked.
All right, so Thomas, he say, I know YouTube, it's making you rich. So, wait. So I appreciate the long hours and the info you provide.
You see what Susan says? Thank you, Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, no, YouTube is not making us rich. Dude, I'm not Casey Neistat, and he sure as hell ain't Smile More guy. No, we are far from making any sustainable income on YouTube. Our plan was always that we went into this not hoping that if any money we make on YouTube is a bonus.
Yeah.
It was never a priority. Yeah. So like we do this for a living. We work here. We make our money 9 to 5. Well, that's a joke. You know, whatever our hours are to pay us to live. YouTube was always an idea that we had that was like, if it ever got big enough to where we could turn on advertising and make some money, great. Yeah. But right now, we have 26,100 some odd followers. That's not bank money. That's it's chump change. It's appreciated when you guys
more cables
but
and more stuff.
Most of the money, like, I could tell you 90% of the money that we made last year went to just buying better equipment to make better videos. So for us, it's just an investment. You know, we take whatever money that is, and like when we put Amazon affiliate links, any of that money, it just goes into buying better equipment to make these videos better. Yeah. So yeah, we're I wish we were, dude. I'd love to have 100,000. I want that plaque more than you know. So share alike. But no, it's not making money. I would, you know. Yeah, that's a big misconception that you make tons of money on YouTube. You don't. And if they keep losing advertisers, well, we probably won't make any goddamn money. So.
All right. So what would be the best subwoofer to fit under the back seat in my 2011 GMC Sierra extended cab?
So. When it comes to shallow mount under the seat woofers, I've said it before, and I'll stick to my guns. My favorite shallow mount woofer for the moderately priced, moderately powered, meaning that 350 to 500 watts, is the Phoenix Gold shallow mount woofers. In the Ford video we just did, we used 2 of their 12s. They sound amazing. The trick you have to run into in the Chevy is whether or not you have the high transmission or the low transmission. Yeah. If you have the high transmission, 10s are about as good as you're going to get because you just can't get a box worth of shit under there that's going to sound good. If you're wanting to do a ton of power and you can fit bigger, check out the Rockford Fosgate T1 shallow mount woofer. It's a T1, right? T1?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. But you do have to upfire them. They sound amazing and they're nice. So, but those are the two. Now, that's not to take away from Kicker. Kicker also makes a shallow mount, and the newest one that they just made, meaning the product that came out brand new, is probably their best shallow mount woofer ever. So if the Phoenix Gold, things like, I don't know, it's Phoenix Gold, then check out the Kicker. Okay. Yeah. Beat that one to death.
All right, so Eric, Dean, thank you. My sound system sounds cuz 5-star car stereo.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Glad we can help.
Alright, so Bill. So join their YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw that.
I know.
That was Bill.
Michael, the Kenwood 9903S, it's one of the badass radios. I love it so far.
Yes, it is, and that's why I'm going to go with the DMX. because it's got the same operating system, but it doesn't have the. It's actually got the updated version of that operating system, so it's newer, cooler, yay. But it doesn't have the DVD player, which I don't need, because I don't ever plan on playing any spinning media.
This guy, he wanted to. You can say hello.
Alex?
Alexis.
Alexis?
Yes.
Hi, Alexis. How are you?
Can you say in Spanish? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Alexis.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Alexis.
Alexis.
There you
Really?
go.
You gotta kill it with that?
Good.
¿Dónde estás, mi amigo?
There you go.
And there ends my Spanish for the day.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I can say taco.
Taco, tortilla, and what else?
Chimichanga, I'm pretty good at that.
That's awesome.
Hola! Yo soy Roberto.
There you go. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so my Rockford T1500 rocks my L7 Solbergs.
Yeah, hell
That's
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know, okay, so a lot of you guys always ask, should I spend the money to get the better amplifier? In this case, you spent the money to the T1500, which the 1500 is like an 1800 watt amp, okay? It's not 1500. It's a real 1800 watt amp. And it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing amplifier that's giving you 1900 watts that will bang the shit out of anything you put it on.
Yeah.
But then you get the guy, oh, I'm going to buy a Crunch 1500 for $300. No, it's not. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
there's a Lamborghini and
Yeah.
there's something else that's called a sports car.
Like in Infiniti G35.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you know, everyone, okay, one of the most common, what speaker should I get? 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 You should get the most expensive speakers you can afford. Done. There's no such thing as an amazing sounded $70 set of speakers.
Yep.
Okay? You might tell yourself it sounds good, and it might sound good, but if you compare it to that 150,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, that was, you know, when you heard your first really expensive set of speakers, you were like, huh?
I started doing this, like, doing loudspeakers, and to me, that was amazing. I was like, oh man, this rock. And
Thank you, Eric.
And then when I came here, Dean is like, hey, come over here, sit down, and listen to it. And I was like, oh my God, you know, it sounds like a concert right there. So definitely, if you got the money, spend it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, everyone's I mean, I get it. You know, everyone has a budget. I don't care if you're making money, not making money. Everyone has a budget, and the idea is to get the best for the budget, and then have realistic expectations about what you're trying to do. You bought L7s, you bought a T1500, you have an awesome matched amplifier for a set of awesome subwoofers, and whether you guys out there are like, oh, those suck, whatever, I don't care. They're amazing woofers, and that's an amazing amplifier. When you put those two together, you have amazing results. But you know, if you have to have realistic expectations of what you're designing in this industry.
Right.
The other thing I like to tell people too is buying car audio is like going to the movie theaters and buying popcorn. Okay? Once you get over the initial sticker shock of buying the popcorn, like you're like, you want $7.50 for a freaking small popcorn, or is this shit gold plated? I mean, I know it's yellow, but I mean, holy God! I mean, I just paid $21 to get two people into this freaking place. Yeah. Does it have the flames on it? Those things were huge. I remember those came out. Everyone was up. Dude, when those things came out, people went crazy. Anyways, back to the
meters.
Oh, the meters are. Oh God, I'm a sucker for meters. I bought those Macintosh meters and had them in my dash. Oh, that was so cool. My amps at home have meters. I love them. Oh. Anyways, buying popcorn in movie theater. When you get over the initial sticker shock, it's like 50 cents more, you get this. $1 more, you get that. Next thing you know, you spend $100 at the concession stand. You have a bucket of popcorn. You have a backpack full of cola. Jesus, pop. You got gummy bears and work, because you know, if you buy the large popcorn, you can get a candy for $2 more. You can get one of the $4 candies for $2 more. You can get a $5 candy for $3 more. Holy shit! I'm saving $2 on candy that realistically only cost $1.25, but they told you it was $5. So shit, yeah, I gotta have it.
You sold.
You know?
Yeah.
So car audio, it's like once you once you look at that first set of speakers for $80 to $100, it's really only $25 more to go up to the next best version of that speaker. Yeah. Maybe $50 more. Though again, I know $50 is a lot, but $50 is a trip to 2 trips to McDonald's. Twizzlers.
Hi, Matt from Australia.
I love you guys from Australia, man. You guys are the bomb.
Yeah.
And it's not to take away from anybody else. It's just that they're willing to watch this show all the way from Australia. It was so cool.
Like Tony from UK.
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Okay, so the reason why we have all this camera crap to begin with is because I take pictures when I'm bored. I own personally a ton of camera equipment, not just the equipment that I own. I own all the equipment for the videos we do. It's not store bought. It's all this YouTube crap is mine. So the 4 DSLRs we use for shooting this show, all the microphones, all the tripods, all the booms, all the crap I've paid for out of my own pocket. Because I have a love for photography, I also have my own whole other set of cameras. And the reason why I'm saying this is because one of my dream vacations is to go to Australia and just take pictures for like 2 weeks straight. Just walk around, take pictures, go to the Outback, it just looks like such a beautiful place to take pictures. I mean, obviously, Hawaii's the next best place, which I've been there before and done that, and I'll be doing that this summer. So I'm really looking forward to that. I have family there, so I can afford to go there, let's be honest. I'm going to try to find a stereo shop there because I want to stop in and be like, hey, guys.
Yeah? You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah. What's going on? So, yeah, anybody has a stereo shop in Maui, let me know. I'll be there this summer. But, yes, one of the places I want to go is Australia.
It's my setup.
No other place.
On this very excited one on my highs with a King with 9903S and a full cal component sound great. Awesome.
He's got everything I would own.
Yeah. That's good, man.
Damn, I'm jealous, man.
Yeah, that's good.
It's like, shit, everything I would buy.
Outback.
And what's their beer?
Corona.
Beer you goof.
Oh.
Hey, we drinking the Corona in the Outback, man. What's up, homie? Yeah, driving the lowrider.
Yeah.
Camel, or not camel, koala bear. And they got my ass jacked by a kangaroo. What's up, Paco the kangaroo?
Jose.
Yeah. Jose, the punching kangaroo. Come and see him. Okay, I think we're just getting silly at this point.
All right.
Which means we're going to call it a day. We're not talking about Carstairs. We're just having lots of fun. Thanks, everyone. As usual, we have a great time. You guys asked amazing questions tonight. We had a lot of fun. We'll be doing this again next week. Hopefully, we'll have our cool new shirts that we just got from... Well, you know that. You live with me, for God's sakes. Yeah, so hopefully we'll have our new shirts from Teesprings that we'll be able to show you, see what they look like on, hey, baby, look at my sexy T-shirt.
Yep. Don't forget, buy your shirt.
There'll be a link to it in the YouTube. If not, just go to teespring.com/5star T, spelled out, all words, or just do a search for 5-Star Car Stereo.
Or go to the Facebook page and
our Facebook page has that too.
And it's right there,
Yeah, and trust me, we really appreciate you guys chiming in on Facebook. I know it's a struggle because, let's be honest, Facebook's kind of sucking. Oh my God, shut it off. All right, we're out of here. You guys have a great night. We'll see you later. Bye.